And hello and welcome everybody to Raising Cane's here on 16th Avenue in Laurel, Mississippi, right across from Walmart, Kinsley. It's another Tuesday, and that means kicking it with the coach. We just met the new marketing director here, Amber, at Raising Cane's, and she said, hey, you guys are welcome. We're going to continue doing this every Tuesday during basketball season for the Southeastern Baptist Chargers. And so, a former Tiger plays basketball over there will be starting Antonio Curry.
Exactly. That's some really great news, just the fact that, our broadcast is continuing to grow, and then we're also making history along with the Southeastern Baptist College Chargers. They're revamping their basketball program. So, that's a really good thing, and it's just it's a really good time for us. It's going to keep us busy, which is always a good thing.
Absolutely. So, it's time to talk a little Tiger football, and we've got some great guests here today. As always, we got Coach Keith Braddock, and our player of the week, our pal, is Fi-Fi McGee. A young man that just is tough as nails, will go through a brick wall carrying people, and just, a tremendous athlete.
He really is. I mean, just watching him throughout the week, I've just grown impressed by him, and just watching him over the years as he's progressed, as a player. It's just, and the player he is now, he's really someone that's really admirable, somebody who's able to carry the team on his shoulders. You're
right, because, you wish you had 10 more other guys like him, and so, there's very few, I guess players where you could have a Fi-Fi McGee, a Mason Smith, a Zach Rogers, a Patrick Little, guys like that. You wish you could have a team full of them.
Right. I mean, those types of players, they only come around once in every, a couple of years, if that. So, anytime you have players that fit their mold and their caliber, their type of talent, you just have to make the best of it with the time that you have with them.
Yeah, we also have Coach Tom Lewis with us today, who helped runs the offense, a long-time Heidelberg Academy head coach, and has been with Northeast for the last 2 decades or so, it seems like, Coach. And so it's good to have him with us today. So let's talk to our pal.
Let's start with the pal. So, Fi-Fi, after even last Friday's game, you guys dropped a decision, but Fi-Fi, I gotta tip my hat off to you, man. You are one tough kid. Just even over the past weeks, there's been times this season when, you've been dinged up a little bit. And, it just happens. It's football. But, just the fact that, I think, honestly, just sometimes the defense just tries to purposely knock you out of the game. But, it just really doesn't happen with you. You may be out for a play or two, but, you're going to come back and you're going to try to make a play. And that type of toughness you really just don't find in quarterbacks anymore. So I just want to just tip my hat off to you and just say how much I admire your style of play and even the leadership qualities that you have with your teammates. It's second to none, really. The team, they really respect you. And I see you on the sidelines, how they come up to you, ask you something, and how you go up to them and communicate with them. When things are not going your way, you tell the team, keep your head up. And also the way, the relationship you have with the coaches. They hold you in high regard. And that really says about you and the type of character that you have. So, just, keep doing what you're doing, no matter, how the season's going. You guys, you're playing your best football, and y'all really just have a tough schedule. So, just, keep balling, man.
I've got a question for you, Fi-Fi. What is the drive behind your energy and passion that keeps you going? You took some pretty big hits in the game Friday night. And so talk to me about what's the drive behind you and what keeps you motivated to come back and just get out there and give it all you got.
Just trying to win. That's all, trying to get some points on the board, trying to score first and trying to, it just got to go hard,
Tell me one thing that you've learned from your coaches so far this season. Facing adversity like this is tough, but to keep on coming back every week, that says a lot about your character. Talk about that and talk about how big that is for this team to keep on coming back every Friday night in the midst of this adversity this season.
Patience. You just got to keep grinding, and it'll come sooner or later. I mean, when it come, just know it's gonna be some spectacular when it happens.
Okay.
I believe every player, every athlete, they mold their style of game after some player, whether it be professionally or on the collegiate level. What player would you say you mold your game after?
Oh, I really like watching Patrick Mahomes play because he hard, but I mean just less throwing the football. I like running it, but if I throw it, I'll throw it. You know what I'm saying? And
so you're more of like a run first, pass second type of player. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nick Fitzgerald,
right? Exactly. And that's a skill set that most quarterbacks, they really don't have. It's either one or the other. But I mean, you've shown numerous times that you have the ability to do both. And I mean, the way you do it is just, it's so, I call it particular because everybody just can't do that. But I mean, you just naturally have a skill set that most quarterbacks could only dream of having.
All right, Coach, talk about Phi. Talk about, what does he bring to the table? And talk about him for a minute and what you think, he does best and what some of his better qualities are.
Well, the biggest thing, he's a competitor, and early on when in his career, if you watched him close practice, pick up basketball or whatever, you'd have to kind of get him in check because I'm not going to say he had a bad attitude, but he didn't know how to handle it. Heck, he just wanted to win, and I've seen him develop and mature, on the field and stuff. But he's also, 18 years old now. And I'd say one of the biggest attributes, he just wants to win. Even sometime, if he, we act a lot alike, stomping and carrying on and get mad. But he's just competitive and he wants to win. He don't mean to disrespect nobody, no other team. He's a great teammate. But at the end of the day, I would say his biggest attribute would be, of course, he's really athletic too now. But he's matured a lot. But he's competitive. It no matter what it is, he wants to win.
Okay. And Coach, thus far this season, even though things really hasn't gone the team's way, talk about some bright spots that you've seen from the team so far.
Well, that being one of them, guys like him and a lot of the kids not giving. There's not many people now that could go 0-6, 0-7 and still go out and fight and claw and play and practice the way our kids do. If you come watch us practice, I'm going to tell you that we probably practice longer and as hard as anybody, in the state. We have had a tough schedule. We've had some injuries. We don't make excuses. And when you coach, man, and you try to preach to these kids, we mentioned all year. I hadn't mentioned all year. You get a guy like Jawad Jones. He ain't played a snap. He's a phenomenal player. He's a phenomenal player. He ain't played one snap. But we don't talk about that. We just say we're going to put another kid in. We're going to keep grinding. We're going to, Kurt Parker's supposed to be a senior this year. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be in the middle of that. We had that wreck last year. Couldn't play. But we don't do that. We don't talk about excuses. We just keep working. We keep grinding. So I would say the kids believe in each other. Their belief in us. That bunch last week was ranked, 6th, 7th, 8th in the state in 4A. And we went up there and was giving them the business. Yeah, we fell short. But that'd be the biggest thing I'd say is just the kids' attitudes. And the way they're still believing and fighting and clawing. And you got guys like Phi-Phi's athletic that's going to make some plays. And there's numerous other guys that's come up here with us. Cody Hyatt stepping up on defense. He's just a young kid, and he's playing good. There's a few other kids that are as well. But I'm proud of them. Like I said, we've had a really tough schedule. I think I figured it up the other day. The teams are like 41-12 or 41-14. I mean, everybody we play wins every week. You know what I mean? And, when you're 16, 17 years old and you've lost 3 or 4 games in a row and 2 of them to your rivals, it's hard to just keep trying and keep believing. But these kids do, and that's a testament to what kind of kids they are. And, I'm like I told them Friday, I'm proud to be their coach and proud of their effort, proud of the way they act. And we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And regardless if we win the rest of the games and win a state championship, or if they're going to be successful in life. and that's the message that we're trying to get across now.
And that's one of the things that me and John were talking about Friday after the game. The kids, they have a tough schedule. I mean, they really do. And I mean, they come out and they play their hearts out. I mean, from the start of the game to the end of the game. I mean, no matter what adversity goes on the field, even whether it's from the officials to the opposition or whatever it may be, they're going to come out and they're going to play their game. And I told John, it may seem like they're struggling. I mean, from at the end of the game, you look at the scoreboard. And I mean, it may seem like they're struggling. But I mean, it's like a life lesson. Sometimes you can only do so much in a situation. There's only so much you can control. But at the end of the day, whether you won the situation or not, it's a life lesson in this whole thing. So I mean, I admire the way that you're training the team, to handle this season. I mean, even though it's not going your way, but I mean, you teach your teams to stay in it. You don't stop until that buzzer sounds. That's right. But I mean, I can tell they go 110% every game. I mean, they give it all they got. So I mean, I just commend you, your team, your coaching staff, everybody that's involved. For, just being able to come together and just doing what Tigers do. And I mean, we're a family. Yeah, Tigers are a family. Me and John, we graduated 17 years ago. But I mean, it's a family. It's just something that just doesn't end. So I mean,
that's right.
The fact that the team can stick together, it really says a lot.
Absolutely. So let's talk with Coach Lewis. Coach, what kind of things do you see in Fafa as your quarterback? What makes him, make your offense run, and talk about him a little bit, and just, some of the qualities that he brings to be our player of the week this week, our pal.
Well, he was he's just a winner. He comes every day to practice and he works really hard, and if you take him out, you see that change. No matter how that good that next guy is, and Mason's come in and done a good job in replacing him, but when you take him out, there's a drop-off, and he's just a winner. He adds that element to the game that puts a lot of pressure on the defense. He throws the ball well enough. He runs the ball effectively, and he reads in our option-type offense. He makes good reads, and so he gives us a lot of dimensions over there, and that's what puts the pressure on the defense. And again, when he makes a bad play or a bad read, you can never tell when he might break up for a touchdown, because he just gives you that added dimension that he comes to work. He's a winner. He won't quit. He won't back down. He's just going to give you that great effort, 100% every time you go, and you can count on him to make good plays.
And so talk about what goes into your game plan every week. Honestly, how much time as a coordinator? How much time do you spend game planning and watching film and all that type of stuff to prepare for the next opponent?
Well, we don't sleep much on the weekend. We really don't. We get back and get to work at 8:00 Saturday morning. Huddle is a great tool that we use, so we're able to watch film on our phone 24/7 if we want to. So we begin to break down the film, and we chart their defense and what defense they play and how they play it, their techniques, how they line up to different formations. And then we look for that weak link that everybody may have or not, and we try to exploit, put our best guys against their weakest guys if we can. We try to look for that area where we can exploit their weakness. And
Coach Braddock, this week it's homecoming in the jungle, and you got the Quitman Panthers coming to town, a team that has seen some struggles as well this year. Talk about the game coming up and how important is it? Some stats have proved that homecoming hasn't always been good to the Tigers, but this year could be different, and it could be the game that the Tigers finally get that win.
Well, it's always a tough battle when we play Quitman. It's always has been good physical competition. They're always athletic. They're really big and physical. Got a good coaching staff. Kids are going to play hard. But like I told you, our kids are going to get after it, and we fully expect to win. That's a great thing to have a bunch of kids that go through adversity and then still believe, I'll tell you this, and I did some little research and told the kids yesterday. We have beat Quitman